Welcome into another version of Fantasy versus Reality. I'm Keith Lipscomb from ESPN Fantasy, along with ESPN NBA analyst Jalen Rose. And we're about 3 weeks into the season, and it's a good time to talk about some guys that have maybe surprised you and disappointed you. Let's pick one guy each here and see if we can come to some common ground here.
Don't panic. The NBA season is a marathon, so after 3 weeks, don't necessarily cut a guy or add a guy about what we're about to talk about. But Andris Biedrins of the Golden State Warriors. Here's a guy who has double-doubles, basically 16 out of the last 17 games he's played, and leads the NBA in rebounding. Who would have thought it? All of the great big men in the league.
Yeah, and this is somebody who was taken, 65th in drafts. So, I mean, to be right now, the top one or two centers in the game as far as fantasy is concerned is pretty silly. And what the key for him has really been getting the minutes. Getting 35 minutes a game is amazing. Not only the fact that the average, but he's been pretty much at steady at that point. He hasn't played, I think, fewer than 31 minutes since opening night. So the fact that he's not getting cheap double-doubles either.
Right.
He has, I think, 112 and 11 game, but pretty much it's been, 17 and 22, and
exactly.
That's what's been surprising to me. Do you think he can keep that up?
I think so, and one of the things you want to think about when you're drafting guys is style of play. He plays for the Golden State Warriors, and he's a big man. They're going to have more possessions, and they have a lot of bad perimeter shooters, more opportunities for rebounds.
You got that on the head for sure. Totally agree, man. I think this guy is for real. Even if the rebounds come down some, I think he can average 11 a game this season. I don't see why that should change.
Absolutely.
Somebody's got to get the rebounds, as you said. Disappointments, one guy that comes to mind for me has been Shawn Marion because of the fact that he was drafted 10th overall. So this is a first-round draft pick. Definitely not giving you first-round value.
No, he's not at all, especially going 10th. The last 5 or so years, Shawn Marion was a guy that got you around 10 rebounds, around 20 points, was up there in blocks, was up there in steals, was up there in free throws, and even shot three-pointers. One of the top fantasy booms in the NBA. This reason, obviously, his role has changed, his opportunity has changed, a couple of injuries. He's not hardly putting up those numbers.
Yeah, what's been disappointing for me is that he's not even very aggressive at the offensive end right now. He has 7 free throw attempts this month. November's getting close to ending here. We're on the backside of November. He's got 7 free throw attempts. Do you think that this is something where it's been the groin injury bothering him, or do you think that maybe the addition of Michael Beasley has changed his role and he's just having a hard time fitting in?
A combination of both. And one more thing you want to watch when you drafting guys for fantasy is called the business of basketball. Here's a guy's in the last year of his contract. They don't plan on re-signing him, so why let him get off? Why allow him to be a commodity that's bigger than life to either trade or to sign at the end of the year? So they're kind of trying to walk a fine line between having him on the team and kind of letting him go to another team.
With that in mind, maybe it's somebody that you might want to think about trying to sell. Although the value is very low right now, there are still people out there in your league that may think that they're going to get the Shawn Marion of old. So if you can get somebody back for him that might be a little bit better than what he's been giving you so far this season, I'd say go for it. Make sure you catch Jalen on Shoot Around this week, Wednesday and Friday night. And, we want to thank Jalen for joining us.
Anytime.
Thanks a lot. We'll
Pleasure.
do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Get LeBron. Get LeBron. Trade your whole team and get LeBron.
There's some insight.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot for joining us, Jalen.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you again next week.